What's good, everybody? It's the Clown of a Cap Show. We got college football week 10 recap. Really some big games. Obviously, the biggest game of them all was Clemson and Notre Dame. Yes, Notre Dame fans, including myself, are very happy, right? But why am I not on the high horse? Because Clemson did not have their star quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, the number one overall draft pick in the 2021 draft. I mean, seriously, let's be honest here. And I know a lot of people are saying now Trevor Lawrence should tank until 2022 because of the trash-ass New York Jets. That's why. But look, dude, I'm telling you, for Notre Dame, a big win, double overtime win. This was a huge game. And I saw Ian Book battle-tested. I learned a lot from Notre Dame. But what I'm saying is, dealing with this victory from Notre Dame, you guys have to beat Clemson yet again. You guys have to beat Clemson twice. That's what's going to happen. That's what it is. That's just part of the system, dude. In the ACC championship, you will play Clemson, Notre Dame, and you will have to beat Clemson when they do have Trevor Lawrence, when they are ready to play. Okay, I get it. You know, this is a big win. I'm not discrediting Notre Dame Fighting Irish, okay? Okay, I'm a little jumpy right now because a lot of people are saying, look, dude, Notre Dame this, Notre Dame that. They've been saying that for years, okay? The last time Notre Dame has won a national championship was 1988. Okay, did they even have flip phones then? I don't think so. They did it. But like I said, Ian Book, a great game. Okay, Ian Book, he had 310 yards with one touchdown, but the difference maker was Notre Dame's running back Williams. I love this dude. I think this guy, man, he can make it to the next level. I like the way he runs, and I can compare his game to Ezekiel Elliott. I think the way he runs north to south. He runs through you. He's going to run through you every time. He runs hard. That's what I like about this cat, dude. He had 23 carries this game, 140 yards rushing, and 3 touchdowns. This kid is something special, and if you could do that against Clemson, dude, you have to be good. Obviously, the backup quarterback, DJ, he had a pretty good game. 439 yards with 2 touchdowns, dude. You would have thought Clemson would have won this game, right? I mean, Trevor Lawrence, those are Trevor Lawrence numbers right there. But on the bright side for Clemson, no need to freak out. You guys will get in the playoffs, no doubt about it. Obviously, unless you lose the ACC championship game to Notre Dame. It's gonna come back in full throttle. It's gonna come back 180, and I cannot wait. This is gonna be the game. I cannot wait to see Notre Dame and Clemson rematch. Yes, Clemson, I get it. There's no need to freak out. You guys are still in the top 5 team in the country right now. So whatever the polls say, it doesn't matter. You guys are in the top 5. If Clemson wins out, beats Notre Dame in the ACC championship, they are in, their tickets punched. Now for Notre Dame, is their ticket punched to the playoffs? Absolutely not. They have to run out. They have to win out and also win the ACC championship game to get in. But a lot of people will say, no, Cap, if they lose to Clemson next game, they should still get in if they lose in the ACC championship. No, that's not how it works. Notre Dame, they need to win every single game. Every game to win a national championship this year. It's make or break. And then we got Michigan versus IU, baby. Shout out to IU. Indiana football, we always thinking of Indiana basketball, but their football, what an upset again. Okay, Michigan was 3.5-point favorites going into IU, into Bloomington. Not only did IU won by more than a touchdown, dude, they beat Michigan's ass, dude, and I loved every second of it. I really did. I'm telling you, Michael Penix Jr., IU's quarterback, he is something special, dude. He's a game changer. He's an X factor. He's the captain of the team right there. He's the captain of the ship. Okay, he's the pilot of the airplane. He is, dude. He's it all. He had 342 yards with 3 touchdowns, and that was the difference maker. Michigan, Harbaugh, he needs to be fired. This is it for him. I'm sorry. I mean, would you go to Michigan for? To lose games to IU football? Is that why they got you a head coach, Harbaugh? No. He's done, dude. I don't care. Let's say he wins out and beats Ohio State at the end of the year, which will not happen. But even if he does, he's done. Harbaugh, your job is gone. Go back to high school or middle school football, dude, or maybe even Pee-wee flag football. That's where you're good at. That's where you're a good coach at. But to me, shout out to IU. I love it. Who would have thought IU would be undefeated right now? Let's be honest. Nobody thought that. Nobody. And I love it, dude. IU, baby. Continue to prove us wrong. Continue to win games. And they will get in, maybe maybe a Rose Bowl game. You never know. Anything is possible with IU, so shout out to IU. Big win over Michigan. Then we got SMU versus Temple. I picked SMU. They were 17.5-point favorites. They covered. The SMU's quarterback, Sam, he had 355 yards with 4 touchdowns. Bentley, the fourth, their running back, he had 17 carries on 79 yards. Look, dude, Temple is trash. We know that. I didn't even think Temple football had a football program after all. But shout out to SMU. They got the job done. Then we had Arizona State versus USC. First game back on the Pac-12, baby. You gotta love it. USC won. They did not cover. They were 10.5-point favorites. They only won by 1 point. What a game. First win of the season. What better way to go, right? I mean, USC, yes, they're good. But are they the USC back with Matt Leinart, with Reggie Bush, with Lendell White? Absolutely not. They're not the old USC that we're used to seeing, right? But, big win. Arizona State, okay, we get it. Big win for USC. Then we got West Virginia versus Texas. In all these picks, I got 2 games wrong all year, this week in week 10. West Virginia this was the game. I picked West Virginia with the upset. I thought for sure they would beat Texas. Texas was 6-point favorites. They didn't even cover. This game was super close. Came down to the wire. Sam Ehlinger had a pretty good game, 184 yards with 2 touchdowns. And then Garrett, West Virginia's quarterback, he went 35 for 50 on 317 yards. Look, it just came down to a couple of possessions. That's it. A really close game, but hats off to Texas. But both Texas and West Virginia, they will not get in it. They will not get in the playoffs. These 2 teams are out, no doubt. Then we have one of the biggest games of the week is Florida versus Georgia. I went Georgia originally. Then come game time, I was like, hold up, I wanted to switch my pick. I kid you not, I went with my gut. I ended up saying, you know what, I'm going Florida in this one. But these were the 2 games I got wrong, was West Virginia and me taking Georgia originally. Like I said, I ended up changing it prior to the game, right before the start. I just like Florida. I like their quarterback, Kyle. I think he's a difference maker. He snapped off this game. He had 4 touchdowns and only 1 pick on 474 yards passing, dude. He snapped off. And we're starting to see this from Florida. We're starting to see the old Tebow effect come into play, baby. I love it. And college football is just so much better when Florida Gators are good, right? I mean, Georgia, Stetson, their quarterback, he's pretty decent. He had 1 touchdown, 1 pick on 78 yards. It makes sense why Georgia got ass kicked, dude. They got their asses whooped, dude. They are not Bulldogs. They're Wimp Dogs, dude. Shout out to the Gators one time, baby. Florida Gators. Hey, could they make the playoffs? It's a big possibility. Like I told you guys, a 1-loss team will get into the playoffs this year. You watch. Then we have Houston versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati was 13.5-point favorites. I told you guys to go all in on this one. I said, put your mortgage on this bet. Put it all. Put it all. And Cincinnati cashed out. Desmond Ridder, their quarterback, he had 162 yards passing, 1 touchdown and 1 pick. But the difference maker was their running back, Dox. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He had 16 carries on 184 yards rushing, 184 and 1 touchdown. That was the difference maker for Cincinnati. Their ability to run the game, control the clock, and also utilize play action. Cincinnati, dude, they're undefeated. I mean, Cincinnati easy in the top 10. Are they a top 5 team? Is Cincinnati a top 5 team? I say no because of the strength of schedule. But look, dude, if Cincinnati, ends up going undefeated, do they deserve a spot in the playoffs? I mean, the whole year this year with COVID, I say why not? Why not, baby? Let the underdog team maybe get their shot at glory one time. Please, make it kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness. Okay, make it kind of like that. We want a team that's not supposed to win it, okay? Then we had Kansas versus Oklahoma. Kansas is winless. They are trash. Oklahoma's 38-point favorites. I said go money line, but you would have cashed out regardless, okay? Oklahoma won. 63.5 was the over-under. Went with the over. Spencer Rattler, he had 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like I said, dude, Kansas, they're trash. Oklahoma, they will not make the playoffs this year. That's what we do know. Then we had Oklahoma State versus Kansas State. I ended up picking Oklahoma State, but they didn't cover. Money line would have won you some money. Spencer Sanders, their quarterback, Oklahoma State's, he had 108 yards, just 108 yards, and yet they barely won this game. Kansas State's quarterback, Will Howard, he had 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but Oklahoma State was just too much. Money line, you would have cashed out. Shout out to Oklahoma State. Then we had Texas A&M versus South Carolina. I told you guys to go Texas A&M. They easily cleared the spread of 10. Dude, like I said, Texas A&M puts up crazy numbers. Mod, their quarterback, he had 4 touchdowns on 224 yards, dude. Crazy. Isaiah Spiller, the running back, he had 18 carries on 131 yards. That was the difference maker with Texas A&M. Like I said, Texas A&M, they have a top 5 offenses in the league right now in college football. I said the league like NFL, but college football, no doubt, dude. Texas A&M, one of the most explosive offenses. Like I said, they can put up crazy numbers. I expect Texas A&M to get in a nice bowl game at the end of the year. No doubt about it. Big win. Then we got Baylor versus Iowa State. I picked Iowa State. I told you guys to go Iowa State. They didn't clear the 14 on the spread, but they didn't cover that. But look, dude, the money line was there. Like I told you guys, the money line was there. Iowa State's quarterback, Brock, he had 3 touchdowns, 3 picks. Their running back, Hall, he snapped off 133 yards with 2 rushing touchdowns. He snapped off. That was the difference maker. Iowa State got the win. Then we got Rutgers versus Ohio State. Ohio State was 38.5-point favorites. I told you guys to go money line. I said this is way too much. Anything over 30, and no matter if it's college or I don't think NFL would ever do that, but college, no way. 30? 38.5? That is way too much to me, in my opinion, but Ohio State got the job done. Like I said, Justin Fields, expect this name to be in the Heisman candidate at the end of the year this year. He had 5 touchdowns on 314 yards. He went 24 for 28 against Rutgers, dude. He snapped off. And I say this because Justin Fields, however good he plays, Ohio State's going to play that much better. If Justin Fields plays turnover free, Ohio State's more than likely going to win the game. I mean, we saw it this past year when they played Clemson in the playoffs. They had their moments. They had a couple key plays there. But look, dude, I expect Ohio State to make it this year. They'll probably get into the 2 or 3 seed. One of the 2. I don't think there'll be a 4. I don't think there'll be a 1. I think Bama will be a 1 overall. But I'm telling you, Ohio State's in there, whether you like it or not. I know it sounds crazy, but I got to go. Ohio State is going to make it. Then we had the Friday night games, BYU versus Boise State. I picked BYU. They were only 4-point favorites. They blew them out. BYU has an explosive offense as well. And that starts with Zach Wilson, their quarterback. He had 359 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tyler Allinger, their running back, he had 14 carries on 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. Look, BYU's another team. What if they go undefeated? Do they deserve to get in? Same thing with Cincinnati. Like I said, I wish it was like a 10-team playoff, top 10 teams, and then do a bracket. That would be great for college football. Not just 4. I want 10. Okay? Like March Madness, right? That'd be great. But look, BYU, their schedule is weak. I would say no to BYU. I hope they get a big bowl game. Maybe play like an SEC team or something like that. Then we had the U versus NC State. I picked the U. Excuse me. I picked the U. They did not cover the 10. If you went money line, you won this. King, their quarterbacks, he had 430 yards, 5 touchdowns. He also had 15 carries on 105 yards. I mean, dude, this kid is nice. I like him. Shout out to the U. They're always nice. But I'm telling you, college football, dude, I love it. I love every second of it, but I also want to get back to Notre Dame and Clemson. Look, Clemson fans out there, if you guys are freaking out, why? Okay, there's no need to freak out. They're still a top 5 team right now. They still have an opportunity to run their rest of their table, get Trevor Lawrence back, and play Notre Dame yet again in the ACC Championship. This is great. I already know Bama, Ohio State are going to be in there. Those are the 2 teams that we for sure we can stamp down right now and say Alabama and Ohio State will be in the playoffs. Who's the other 2? Who's the 3 and the 4? Clemson, Notre Dame, they're a question mark. Florida Gators, another question mark. This is crazy, but what about even IU football, baby? Let's go, man. Shout out to IU. Shout out to Notre Dame on the big win. Let's go!